everybody, Kris Gethin here, and today I have some special tips for you on how to lose stomach fat fast. Now what may come as a surprise to you is at the bottom I've got ab exercises. The reason being, I have heard and have seen so many people do hundreds if not thousands of ab exercises thinking that's going to get them a six-pack. Okay, you're not going to get that six-pack abs if you've got even the slightest layer of fat over the top of them. So we've got to remove that fat. I'm sure you may have heard me say before, you get your abs in the kitchen, not necessarily in the gym. So let me go through these tips here, okay? So, meal consistency and frequency is one. Of course, there's many ways of skinning that fat off, such as intermittent fasting, but my favorite is through meal frequency. So, you'd wake up, from the time that you wake up, you eat your first meal, and then within 3 hours throughout the day, up until bedtime, you have your last meal. Now, these aren't huge meals. They're just small portions. Think about the size of your fist, all dependent on if you wanted to build muscle or burn fat. And the majority of that meal should be based around protein. Okay, and then you'd have your carbohydrates, your clean forms of fats, etc. But let's just focus on that meal frequency. So the reason why I suggest that is think of this. Think of your meal as being wood on a fire, okay? The more frequently that you put good quality wood, i.e. quality healthy food, on that fire, the more that fat burning flame is going to burn consistency without it dropping down, without it smoldering or burning frequently. You want to have a frequent sustenance of meals throughout the day to prevent those blood sugar spikes, to prevent those blood sugar crashes, but to allow that thermogenic property happen. So protein is very thermogenic, okay? So if you're having good quality protein-based meals, that your body temperature is going to increase to digest and break down those foods. So think of that as your fat burning flame, okay? When I say consistency as well, that means throughout the weekends, because a lot of people eat healthy throughout the week, Monday to Friday, but come the weekend, they fall off track, they go out partying, they go to a social gathering, and they're not consistent anymore, and they wonder why they're not able to lose that last bit of fat, even though they're perfect throughout the week. You've got to make sure that consistency is there, because remember, there's a lot of celebrations. We have Christmas, we have birthday, we have weddings, we have Diwali, we have all sorts. So think about that of your consistency with the persistence to move off that belly fat. Clean food and clean condiment choices. Now, the reason why I've put in condiments is because I see so many people order a healthy salad, but then they have a creamy condiment or sauce on top of it, which increases the calorie content, which is obviously going to store here. Well, wherever your fat stores are, a lot of people have it on their abs. So the clean sources of food. So when I say clean forms of protein, that could be a turkey, could be fish, chicken, your whey protein isolate or casein powder, and your carbohydrates can come in a form of like brown rice or quinoa or oats or sweet potato. And then you want plenty of fiber on there. So lots of vegetables in the form of leafy greens. You can have peppers, you can have tomato, lots of salad, something that'll fill you up but has high fiber content to help you clean through these foods and digest and your detoxification system, okay? So when you're going for your condiments, think of something more like a spicy sort of condiment, whether that be a thin layer of Cholula, Frank's hot sauce, some mustard. But for salad condiments, you think of some like balsamic vinegar is very good. A little bit of soy sauce every now and again is okay. But, you know, try to stay away from your creamy sauces. Some tomato-based sauces are okay. Weight training. So a lot of people think that you just have to do hours of cardio to burn off the body fat. Not necessarily so. Weight training is perfect to build up the muscle density, which requires more calories just to maintain itself. So it doesn't have to be like massive muscles, just a lot of muscle density there. So a lot of females get scared of this, thinking if they do some weights, they're going to build up bulky muscles and look like a man. That's not the case at all. you can build up a very toned, balanced physique that will burn off a lot of calories by having that muscle density there. You've heard of skinny fat before. So a lot of people hit the cardio, they don't hit weights, but they still have high body fat, even though that they're not very heavy, they're not big or bulky, okay? That is not going to reveal your six-pack abs. Cardio is and should be put into every program, obviously for your heart health, but to assist with the metabolism of your foods as well. So I always like to suggest 2 cardios a day. They don't have to be long, but a minimum of, say, 20 minutes. If you're doing some form of high intensity interval cardio, then it can be less. It could be like 10, 15 minutes, okay? But you want to do that twice a day to help metabolize the foods, even if they're healthy, to allow you to go through them and then start utilizing your body fat as a fuel source on top of that. Sleep. This is, how should I say, very much overlooked a lot of the time, especially in this day and age, because we're always trying to burn the candle at both ends. We're trying to get so much done. We're trying to be entrepreneurs. We're working hard, looking after our family, and we put ourselves last. And usually sleep is something that's sacrificed. If your sleep is lacking, you're not able to recover, your cortisol levels are going to be higher, and you're not going to be able to burn through the fat. Chances are your blood sugar levels could dip as well. Then you're going to have cravings, and you're going to end up binge eating on bad food. So try to optimize your sleep. Go to bed a little bit earlier. Stay away from your phone and the artificial light, and have a good night's rest so you can recover. Meditation goes with that. So even if it's just 5, 8 minutes, that's all it can take. In the morning, could be whilst you're on the bus on the way to work. It could be anywhere, not when you're driving, obviously. You should spend some time having some deep breaths, maybe some box breathing, holotropic breathing, Wim Hof breathing, and meditation. Bring those cortisol levels down lower. Once you do control your systemic cortisol levels and that stress response, you're able to burn fat easier and build muscle much easier, and you're probably going to be a better person to be around. Clean burn and berberine and apple cider vinegar. So these are supplements. Supplements are just that. They can help assist maybe 3, possibly 5% of your overall fat burning gains. It's not a necessary. It's not necessary. However, I do suggest it, and it's something that I do myself. So I take Clean Burn several times a day before my meals, okay? This will help regulate my blood sugar levels, help with cravings, and increase my body's thermogenic response as well. Berberine also helps with my blood glucose. So I actually monitor my blood glucose 24 hours a day with this right here. So I'm able to see the response that these supplements have with my blood sugar levels, preventing that crash. And apple cider vinegar, I have found, has helped as well before a meal, especially a heavy based meal that may have a lot of carbohydrates and a heavy releasing protein. Okay, sunlight and blocking blue light. So with a lot of my clients, as soon as I start suggesting that they go outside for their cardio instead of being indoors all the time, because as a bodybuilder or trying to get a six-pack, you usually work out, do your cardio, go back to the gym later, do another cardio, and you're working all day and you're spending all day indoors and you're not getting the restorative red light and the vitamin D production that you can get from the sun, okay? And if we're exposed to a lot of artificial light all day and all night, that prevents the onset and the creation of melatonin, which we need to sleep and relax. So quite often when I get my clients to go outside and do their cardio, they start burning fat again where they plateaued previously before. So one of the things that you can do is get out there at sunrise or at sunset, or at least any time that you possibly can. Sunset and sunrise, I prefer. And then in the evening or during the day when you're under artificial light, block that blue light with some blue light blocking glasses. I like blue blocks because they are backed up with studies and research, and that's what I wear for a good couple of hours before bed. And sometimes in the gym, when I'm exposed to a lot of artificial light and I don't have any natural light available. Drybrush is something that I do as well. So you can look up Drybrush or lymphatic brush online, and what I'll generally do is have my clients to brush up towards their lymphatic system, or like their inguinal nodes or the occipital nodes. So what you want to do is brush around the area where you're trying to lose the body fat. Now, this is only going to help a little bit. This isn't a magic potion, but you have to be consistent with it. Do it once or twice a day for several minutes. What you're trying to do is bring blood flow to the area. If you have a lot of adipose tissue in these pockets, chances are you've got a very bad blood flow to that area. So you're trying to increase the blood flow, get an erythema, which is redness on the skin, so you can help those fat cells get into the lymphatic system, your bloodstream, get utilized as an energy source. And then finally here, of course it has importance, but not so much when you're trying to lose body fat, ab exercises. Of course, when you do reveal your abs, you want to have a good six-pack there waiting for you. So that is required by hitting some exercises, some resistance training. So I do suggest that you do abs 2, maybe possibly 3 days a week. So you could do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I personally like to do it twice a week to allow my abs to fully recover before I hit them hard again. Remember, it's all about quality here and not just quantity. So I do suggest anywhere between 6 to 10 sets of ab exercises per workout. Okay, so you could do as many as 20 sets in a week if you're hitting it twice. Okay, and you want to make sure that you hit your lower abs and your upper abs. So you need to do some crunches or some sit-ups, along with lying leg raises or hanging leg raises, okay? You can put in some twists in there as well if you want to hit some obliques, but it wouldn't be any more than that. That would be your limit, okay? So hopefully this has given you a lot of information. Now all you have to do is apply it in order to lose your stomach fat fast and have that six-pack abs. Thank you very much for joining me. If you do like this video, remember, comment below. If you have any questions for me, comment below. I'll be happy to answer them. Other than that, please subscribe. I'm Kris Gethin, and I'm out.